First initiative, homelessness and national emergency. Response to the Calgary flood cost Canadians $6 billion. Our homelessness crisis is costing Canadians $7 billion each year. The good news is, according to researchers, is that Canada has the resources and the will to do something about it. That solution is Housing First, an initiative that puts Canada's most vulnerable homeless into homes. According to power players, community leaders, change makers, innovators, and system experts, Housing First is transforming the state of our streets. Here with more is our roving reporter, Chantal Bélanger. Chantal.
Merci, Ayana. You hear me? No. Oh, here we go. Indeed, let's take a look at how this is unfolding across the country. Allons donc voir comment Logement d'abord se déroule à travers le pays. Je suis maintenant avec différents groupes communautaires offrant aide et support aux sans-abri. Please tell us how you're helping through innovation.
Well, Chantal, innovation can happen through big system change, like turning housing over its head to address homelessness.
Or as small as nudging a colleague.
Calling on your colleagues, different levels of government, your other stakeholders, community organization, and have a meeting and use your informal influence to nudge them in the direction you want to go, like coming to a common agreement about common definitions on homelessness.
Thank you. Great stuff. Thank you very much. Et maintenant, de retour à Ottawa avec Madame la Ministre de l'État. Minister, how are we contributing to resolving this crisis? What power do we have?
Well, thank you, Chantal. I'm happy to announce that the Government of Canada will commit funding to this initiative, and it builds on a large body of evidence and extensive research. Municipalities and agencies with influence are actively engaged. There are a large number of dedicated individuals in these agencies who can deliver Housing First.
Thank you very much. It's been really great speaking with you.
It's been great speaking with you.
Thank you. And now we're off to Medicine Hat, where I hear great things are happening through connections and relationships within the systems. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, Chantal. We've recently heard of a completed study of the Housing First project called Systems Create Trust. And that has revealed that this program could not be successful without a fundamental trust amongst all those that are implicated. To illustrate this concept, I'm going to read to you two testimonials from a landlord and a tenant who've been directly impacted by Housing First. Joe, landlord, said, "I'm thrilled with how easy it has been to integrate Housing First tenants into my units. I never would have thought that the system could work this way. I've had so much support from the Housing First program whenever things didn't go quite right. I would like more tenants like Marilyn. This is my way of giving back to the community." Before Housing First, the Marilyn that Joe mentioned used to live behind the dumpster at Tim Hortons downtown. In an interview with us, she said, "I never thought I'd ever have a home of my own. Now I can focus on getting help with my substance abuse and maybe finding a job." Joe has been so supportive. So these are two examples of how cooperation, collaboration, honest and open communication, and reliance on partners has created an environment of trust that allowed this program to see positive results. Back to you, Chantal.
Thanks very much. Great information. Isn't this inspiring, Ayana?
It definitely is, Chantal. Who's next?
Now we're going to go to find out. We have key findings from our colleague investigative reporter who's going to tell us about the change process. So can you tell us what you found?
Yes, Chantal. Actually, I had the opportunity to meet with some of the biggest change leaders for this project, from the federal government, from the City of Ottawa, as well as from the Government of Ontario, as well as some of our organizations across the city and across the country. From all of those change leaders, we've learned a lot of great lessons, a lot of best practices about leading change. For example, managing change is a full-time job. Change is constant. Resistance is normal, but a good thing. Fear is normal. Collaboration, not consultation. And lastly, sometimes vision is just not enough. Back to you, Chantal.
Thanks. Great work. Thank you very much. Enfin, vous allez entendre parler de leadership. We have a grad student here. What can you tell us about this initiative?
Oh, thank you, Chantal. Okay. You know, Chantal, this is a story not of one leader, but of many. I've spoken with leaders from the federal and provincial municipal government, from academia, from civil society, and they're all motivated and really passionate about ending homelessness. But there can be a cost to leadership, the risk of exhaustion, something I know a bit about as a grad student. Leaders need to find a balance between engagement and letting go. They engage by putting the common good first, being held accountable, communicating strategically, and taking risks. But on the other side of the scale is letting go. Leaders focus on their mandates, find doable objectives, let others step up, and other voices emerge.
Thank you very much. Ayanna, back to you on Housing First.
Yes, thank you. Interesting stuff. Oh, this just in, Prime Minister-designate Justin Trudeau has taken the stage in the Parliamentary Press Gallery, despite rumors spread by the
And so, my fellow Canadians, we see what we are capable of when faced with a national emergency like homelessness. Together, we have made great strides towards ending homelessness in Canada. And that was your question.
Monsieur le Premier ministre, j'ai une question au sujet de logement d'abord.
Stop. Yes. In Canada, we respect journalists.
On the Housing First funding, I hear that some groups that do really good work with support and help to the homeless are not getting funding. What's going to happen to these groups and who's going to offer these supports?
It's true, there is room for improvement. But you know what? I'm confident we'll get there together. Because we're talking about Canadians. And to a Canadian, we're not satisfied with just good enough. To a Canadian, better is always possible. It's in Canada, that's how it is here. Better is always possible.